Hey guys, this is Kurt. So we're going to do the twist lock variation here. I was showing you there at the beginning that Valerie and I were training and she got into that position and wasn't sure what to do from there. So I thought, hey, let's train her on the twist lock. So from the position of control that we love using in law enforcement, the come along position, you can also get there from an arm pass. So this is a Russian 2-on-1 variation. You slide down to the wrist, and she's going the wrong way. There we go. Pinky up. I'm telling her to do the pinky up, and she's controlling the fingers. And I'm going to tell her to control below the wrist. But before we get there, one little thing at a time. Twisting the hand vertically, and the elbow should be going to the sky. And see how she has the meaty part of the wrist or my hand there? That's good. And she's clamping on the fingers, but I'm going to tell her to kind of try to manipulate the pinky, and I'm going to show that here probably. My back is to you. But you use the pinky, I call it the magic wand, or it's even like a motorcycle throttle type motion. And so here we will enter it again. I'm going to have her try the 2-on-1. She's doing good connection with her head because she's shorter than me, but that's a good way to keep connection. Try to be as close to your opponent as possible when you're doing any kind of grappling. So here I am telling her again, try to get below the wrist, getting the meaty part of the hand, the pinky, spiraling in a vertical motion, and the elbow, as in my elbow, is going to the sky, and she's turning. And at some point she'll take me down. We're going to teach that too. But it's if you know when you've got it right, because the opponent is definitely feeling. And there's the takedown. I'm just going with the circular motion, and then I'm using my offhand to hook the back of the elbow for a takedown. And again, guys, this is her and I drilling, and she's learning this technique for the very first time. This can be a intricate technique. Here I am doing like a 2-on-1, trying to take them down. Maybe they're resisting the takedown, so I slide into the Sankyo technique, or twist lock, excuse me. And I'm saying you're holding it like you would hold a sword. You see how my pinky or my finger was here? We'll reset that. No reason to keep explaining something you can't see. Here she goes, going in again, the 2-on-1, slide into the fingers. There you go. That's a better grip. She's using her head to control, so I can't break away. And she's finally beginning to get it, but she's losing it. See how my elbow's pointing not up but backwards? You want that elbow to going up, and I'm just pointing to her. Yeah, get my elbow to face the sky. And I'm going to show her, this is the classic law enforcement variation, how they teach it in the academies back in the day. I don't think they teach this stuff in the academies anymore because it's kind of technical, and you got to practice it a lot. But I've done it this way on the street, where I just keep the elbow pinned to my chest, and I was saying, yeah, and then I just take them down to the ground, or a lot of times it's across the hood of a patrol car. But this is the way I like to do it. I like to take them down, and they're fighting me on the way back up. I'm showing you slide down to the hand. I'm controlling across the knuckles. See, I'm using across the knuckles. I'm grabbing the hand like a motorcycle throttle, and I'm turning it, and then I'm quickly adjusting with the other hand. And I'm moving, and then I'm taking them down. And if they roll to their back, you go knee on belly. If they end up on their stomach, then you can go to a rear mount, or knee in the small of the back, like a reverse knee on belly. It's very versatile takedown, guys. I use this so much over the years in law enforcement. It's not even funny. Of all the joint manipulation, the twist lock is the one I've always seemed to end up using the most. So Hapkido has definitely helped. Here she is going through the motion again. You see when someone's learning the technique, they fumble with the hand a lot. She's doing really good, but I can tell it feels awkward for her right now, and that's okay. Again, it's a technical technique, but once you got it, guys, man, it works great. So here I am showing the 2-on-1 takedown. I just use my knee to bump her knee, and she's going to have to use me for balance if I'm doing it right. And here I am grabbing the palm, sliding down, grabbing the meaty part of the back of her hand, and that elbow is going to the sky. And I'm going to try to re-emphasize to her the takedown. We just skip that part. Here she is doing it herself. She takes me down. She's using her head. She's got her leg there. She goes. She bumps my leg. See how I'm only having to use her for balance? That's awesome, because now that allows her to manipulate my hand. Now she's still fumbling with my hand a little bit. That takes time, guys. I'm here to tell you, It takes time and practice. You don't learn this in 8 hours a year doing control tactics. That's why I think they don't teach it in law enforcement anymore. This is like continuous practice. This was me doing Hapkido multiple times a week for years and years and years, and then applicably or using it applicably in law enforcement and refining it. You won't see it really taught this way in Hapkido. This is the way I teach it because it's law enforcement specific. And here she's trying to take down. She's using the wrong arm, and I'm not going to correct her just yet because you don't want to throw too much at the student right off. I'm just going to see if she can pick it up on her own. But more important is the wrist motion and the wrist lock. And I don't know if she caught it this time. So she's going to try it again. She's doing the 2-on-1, modified 2-on-1. She's doing a good job of controlling my arm and keeping it close so I can't elbow her or turn in and punch her. That's a good lock there. My elbow is to the sky. She's turning. And let's see. Oh, she's using the wrong arm again. But guys, I'm here to tell you she figures it out. She'll see it for herself. Sometimes it's better to let the student discover it themselves. Here we go. I go back and I'm showing her, no, here we go. I'm using the pinky as a throttle. I'm turning, just saying here, keep it up in your workspace, just like when you're using firearms. Keep it close, keep it in your workspace where you can see it. And I'm emphasizing my right hand this time. I think she caught it this time. And I'm saying here, if they go to their back, you go knee on belly. If not, they go to their stomach, then you just go to near to the small of the back and then go to a mount. Guys, this is a terrific technique. I've used it I don't know how many times in the real world as a cop. So she's going to get a drink of water, and I'll try to explain the technique to you again. This is how I teach it for law enforcement. I like to do it from the come along, which is a classic entry for if you do a arm drag, you can get to the 2-on-1 or the Russian 2-on-1, as it's called in wrestling. So I like to just teach it from this position. There's other ways to catch it. Here she's doing a good job of putting her knee in the back of my leg. She's still having issues with getting control of the hand. It's a lot of dexterity, but once you've trained it over and over and over and over, let's see, I'm pulling away and she's like, no, I'm going to recorrect it. That elbow's to the sky. So that's there. She's got it. She's using her right hand this time, guys. There, she got it. And she's smiling and she knows she got it. There we go. Again, this takes a long time to master. I've caught this in a jiu-jitsu roll a couple times where someone takes my back, and just like I'm doing here, but it was in a classic take your back on the ground, and I've used this Sankyo move or twist lock to get out of it, and you don't see it in jiu-jitsu, so I catch it once in a while because they're not used to it. And here I am saying, yeah, you can approach it like this. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to approach it. I'm showing you that this is a takedown variation. You saw me do the demo of that when I was doing the demo with Colton. Here I am again. I've got a hand over the shoulder. This is another classic approach where you just grab it. And maybe I'm having her bite off too much right now, but she's getting into the position. She's got the Sankyo. And then there she goes. She does the classic takedown. All right, guys. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this.
Let's roll. Hey. Let's be careful